Next, we will go over a few examples of using the numerical approach to find the limit of a function. Consider the following example. The best tool when using the numerical approach is Excel. To find this one-sided limit, first I'm going to create a sequence of inputs that approaches to 0 from the right side, using the PowerPoint as a template. Now, for each of the inputs, I'm going to compute the output using the definition of a function, which was sine of x divided by x. And now I'm going to apply this formula for all inputs. The pattern is pretty obvious, and we conclude that the limit is equal to 1. So we found the limit of the function using the numerical approach. Consider another example with the same function but a different target value. Let's use Excel again. To find the limit as x goes to infinity, first going to create a sequence of inputs according to the example in the PowerPoint. And for each input I will compute the output using the definition of a function, and I will apply this formula for all inputs. This is a very small number, so the pattern is pretty obvious. The limit is 0. So we found the limit using the numerical approach. Let's consider another example, and let's use Excel again. To find the two-sided limit of this function at 0, first we're going to create the sequences of inputs on both sides using the PowerPoint as a template. And then for each of the inputs, we're going to find the output using the definition of the function. 1 minus cosine of the input divided by the input. And then we will apply this definition for all inputs in this neighborhood. Now, the pattern is pretty obvious as the numbers on both sides approach to 0. So we found the limit using the numerical approach. Consider another example with a similar problem, and let's use Excel again. To find this one-sided limit, first we're going to create a sequence of inputs approaching to 0 from the left. And I will use the examples from the PowerPoint as a guideline. And for each of the inputs, we're going to find the output using the definition of the function. So it is 1 plus cosine of the input divided by the input. And then we're going to apply this formula for all inputs that we're interested in. And the pattern is pretty obvious. The answer appears to be negative infinity. So we found the limit using the numerical approach. We discussed a few examples of using the numerical approach to find the limit of a function.